The gaslighting has become societal. The infatuation with fame and willingness to ruin relationships for attention is epidemic. Some women will throw away 5-year relationships because a semi-famous rapper liked their Instagram photo. They'll destroy marriages because someone with a blue check DM'd them. They'll abandon good men chasing fantasies that will never materialize. A client's fiancé left him because a local athlete started following her on Instagram. She genuinely believed this meant something. She broke off the engagement, pursued this guy who had followed literally thousands of women, got pumped and dumped in a week, then tried to come back. The delusion required to think a follow means anything is staggering. The blaming of partners for emotional issues they created themselves is exhausting to witness. She's unhappy, must be his fault. She's anxious, he's not doing enough. She's bored, he's not exciting enough. The possibility that her unhappiness comes from within, that her problems are self-created, never enters the equation. I see this constantly. Women who are chronically dissatisfied. No matter what their partner does, he plans dates, they're not creative enough. He's romantic, it's too much pressure. He gives space, he's distant. He's attentive, he's clingy. The problem isn't him. It's that some people need chaos to feel alive. The gaslighting to avoid accountability has reached professional levels. Some women could teach masterclasses in narrative manipulation. They'll rewrite history in real time. That fight where she threw plates? He made me feel unsafe. That time she drained the bank account? Financial abuse. The affair? Emotional neglect drove me to it. The recording culture has exposed this. Men are recording arguments now, protecting themselves. And what these recordings show is illuminating. Calm men being screamed at while being accused of raising their voice. Patient men being attacked while being called aggressive. The gap between accusation and reality is vast. The romanticizing of self-destructive behavior as empowerment is deeply concerning. Some women talk about OnlyFans like it's a Harvard MBA. They discuss having multiple partners like it's an achievement. They frame dysfunction as freedom. They mistake chaos for excitement. They confuse attention with value. There was this interview with a woman celebrating her entry into adult work. She spoke about it like landing a dream job, like it was something to aspire to. No discussion of consequences, impact on future relationships, or psychological effects. Just empowerment and getting that bag. The normalization of this is surreal. The hiding or lying about past partners has become standard practice. Body count doesn't matter, but also never tell the truth about it. Some women genuinely believe they can hide extensive sexual histories and it won't affect their relationships. But truth has a way of surfacing, and when it does, the foundation crumbles. A guy I know married a woman who said she'd been with 3 people. 2 years later, at a party, a drunk friend mentions the wild years when she was with different guys weekly. Turns out the number was closer to 50. Not judging the number, I'm judging the lie. How do you trust someone after that level of deception? The disrespect towards men's health, pain, and suffering is something men are finally recognizing as unacceptable. Some partners dismiss physical pain as man flu, minimize emotional struggles as weakness, mock seeking help as fragility. Men's suffering has become a punchline in certain circles. I heard about a man who had a kidney stone. If you know that's excruciating pain. His wife rolled her eyes, said he was being dramatic, refused to take him to the hospital. He had to call an Uber while literally passing out from pain. She later posted on social media about men being babies when they're sick. He filed for divorce from his hospital bed. The normalizing of toxic behavior through external excuses is everywhere. I'm a Scorpio. I can't help being jealous. Mercury is in retrograde. That's why I cheated. I have anxiety, so my abuse is understandable. There's always an excuse, never ownership. Always a reason, never responsibility. The astrology excuse particularly gets me. Some women will literally make major life decisions based on star positions, then wonder why their lives are chaotic. They'll sabotage relationships because our signs aren't compatible, while ignoring actual incompatibilities like values, goals, or basic respect. Men are learning to walk away immediately from partners who disrespect boundaries or use manipulation. The tolerance for games is gone. The patience for drama has evaporated. Men are recognizing toxic patterns earlier and leaving faster. No more years of trying to fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed. The promoting of gold digger ideology as normal expectation is wild to witness. Some women openly state men should pay all their bills simply for the privilege of dating them. Not marriage, not commitment, just dating. They see nothing wrong with this. They call it knowing their worth. There's literal courses now teaching women how to extract maximum resources from men while giving minimum in return. They share strategies for getting gifts, trips, and cash while maintaining emotional distance. They celebrate using men for money. And then they wonder why men are becoming more guarded with resources. The reckless behavior framed as harmless fun, particularly in college years, is creating long-term consequences. Some young women brag about encounters in public bathrooms with multiple partners recorded and shared. They don't understand that the internet is forever, that reputation matters, that actions have consequences. A recruiter friend told me they now do deep social media searches before hiring. He's found videos of candidates in compromising situations. Posted publicly. These women don't get called back. Their hot girl summer becomes their unemployable winter. But nobody warned them, because that would be shaming. The feminine entitlement toward high-value men while offering little in return is mathematically impossible. Every woman deserves a top 1% man. They all deserve millionaires. They all deserve perfection. But what happens when everyone deserves the same tiny pool of men? Most end up with nothing, then blame men for it. The dependency masked as empowerment is particularly ironic. I'm a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, but he should pay my rent. They want traditional provision with modern independence. They want protection while claiming they don't need it. They want support while offering none. The zero accountability in serious situations shows a disconnect from reality. Some women treat legal issues like jokes, criminal behavior like quirks, serious consequences like inconveniences. They've been shielded from accountability so long they don't understand it exists. I saw a video of a woman casually asking a cop to handcuff her for fun during a traffic stop. She genuinely didn't understand why this was inappropriate. She thought consequences were optional. Law enforcement was entertainment. Rules were suggestions. The privilege required for this mindset is astronomical. The exploitation of lonely men through simp culture is heartbreaking to watch. Some women maintain dozens of male friends who pay their bills, buy them gifts, provide emotional support, all while knowing these men hope for more. They string them along with just enough attention to keep the resources flowing. One woman bragged online about having different men pay each of her bills. One for phone, one for car, one for rent. She called them her roster. These weren't boyfriends or partners, just desperate men she kept on hooks, and she saw nothing wrong with this exploitation. When men's trauma gets dismissed or mocked, posted publicly, these women don't get called back. Their hot girl summer becomes their unemployable winter. But nobody warned them, because that would be shaming. The feminine entitlement toward high-value men while offering little in return is mathematically impossible. Every woman deserves a top 1% man. They all deserve millionaires. They all deserve perfection. But what happens when everyone deserves the same tiny pool of men? Most end up with nothing, then blame men for it. The dependency masked as empowerment is particularly ironic. I'm a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, but he should pay my rent. They want traditional provision with modern independence. They want protection while claiming they don't need it. They want support while offering none. The zero accountability in serious situations shows a disconnect from reality. Some women treat legal issues like jokes, criminal behavior like quirks, serious consequences like inconveniences. They've been shielded from accountability so long they don't understand it exists. I saw a video of a woman casually asking a cop to handcuff her for fun during a traffic stop. She genuinely didn't understand why this was inappropriate. She thought consequences were optional. Law enforcement was entertainment. Rules were suggestions. The privilege required for this mindset is astronomical. The exploitation of lonely men through simp culture is heartbreaking to watch. Some women maintain dozens of male friends who pay their bills, buy them gifts, provide emotional support, all while knowing these men hope for more. They string them along with just enough attention to keep the resources flowing. One woman bragged online about having different men pay each of her bills. One for phone, one for car, one for rent. She called them her roster. These weren't boyfriends or partners, just desperate men she kept on hooks, and she saw nothing wrong with this exploitation. When men's trauma gets dismissed or mocked, luxury vacations, contributing nothing but expecting everything. The friend group reinforcement creates echo chambers of delusion. They tell each other they're all queens who deserve kings. They validate each other's toxic behavior. They encourage each other's destructive choices. They create alternate realities where accountability doesn't exist. A buddy's girlfriend had a friend group that met weekly to bash their boyfriends. They'd spend hours listing complaints, never mentioning anything positive. They'd encourage each other to demand more, give less, threaten to leave. 3 of 5 relationships ended within a year. Mission accomplished, I guess. The dating app culture has created massive inflation in expectations. Some women swipe through hundreds of men daily, rejecting 99% for minor flaws. Too short, wrong job, wrong style, wrong zodiac sign. They're shopping for humans like Amazon products, then wondering why they can't maintain connections. The victim mentality pervading everything makes resolution impossible. Every conflict becomes abuse. Every disagreement becomes gaslighting. Every boundary becomes control. When someone's always the victim, they never have to change. The casual cruelty toward average men is heartbreaking. Some women will match with men they're not interested in just for free meals. They'll lead men on for attention. They'll use men for emotional support while pursuing others. They see male pain as irrelevant, male hope as exploitable. The children being raised by these dynamics are absorbing toxic lessons. Boys learning they're defective by default. Girls learning entitlement is empowerment. Both learning that relationships are warfare, not partnership. The celebrating of single motherhood by choice while demanding men step up is contradictory. I don't need a man to raise kids, but also real men date single mothers. They want independence credit while requiring rescue. They want to be seen as strong while demanding support. The body positivity movement becoming obesity encouragement is concerning. Some women gain 100 pounds then demand their partners find them equally attractive. They change fundamentally, then accuse men of being shallow for noticing. They demand acceptance while offering alteration. The financial exploitation normalized as dating is unsustainable. Some women see dates as income opportunities. They schedule multiple dates weekly for free food. They have a rotation of men for different expenses. They've monetized romance while claiming to seek love. The communication styles that would be considered abuse if reversed are standard. Screaming, throwing things, silent treatment, emotional manipulation, all normalized when women do it. But a man raises his voice once? Abuser for life. The pregnancy trapping still happening despite denial is real. Some women lie about birth control, poke holes in condoms, retrieve discarded genetic material. They see babies as meal tickets, child support as income strategy. Then they wonder why men are getting vasectomies in record numbers. The divorce fantasy some women maintain throughout marriage is toxic. They plan exits while saying, "I do." They calculate alimony during arguments. They document everything for future court use while claiming to work on the relationship. The social media performance replacing actual relationships is everywhere. Some women care more about the Instagram post than the actual date. More about the wedding than the marriage. More about the image than the reality. They're not building relationships. They're creating content. The hypergamy unleashed by modern options is creating massive loneliness. Some women reject good men waiting for perfect ones who don't exist or won't commit. They spend prime years chasing unavailable men and then panic when options shrink. The masculine behavior demanded then punished is schizophrenic. Be dominant but not controlling. Be protective but not possessive. Be emotional but not weak. Be successful but available. The contradictions are impossible to navigate. The rewriting of relationship history after breakups is Orwellian. Happy relationships become toxic retroactively. Consensual becomes coerced in hindsight. Love becomes trauma bonding when convenient. The past changes based on present feelings. The therapy language weaponized against men is exhausting. Every preference is controlling. Every boundary is abusive. Every standard is toxic. They've turned healing language into weapons while avoiding actual healing. The good men watching this are choosing solitude over suffering. They're seeing friends destroyed in divorce, brothers falsely accused, fathers separated from children. They're learning that the risk isn't worth the reward, that peace is better than partnership with someone adversarial. The generational impact will be severe. Marriage rates plummeting, birth rates crashing, families not forming. Not because men hate women, but because men are protecting themselves from dynamics that guarantee suffering. The wake-up call some women are starting to have comes too late. At 35, 40, wondering where all the good men went. They went where they were appreciated, respected, valued. They went where effort was reciprocated. They went where they were wanted for more than resources. The men building lives without romantic relationships are thriving, financially stable, emotionally peaceful, physically healthy. They're proof that male happiness doesn't require female validation, that success doesn't require struggle, that life doesn't require drama. The documentation age we live in is exposing truths that were hidden before. Videos showing behavior, recordings revealing reality, posts proving